Justis Huni has certainly cleared all the doubts regarding his performance by completely dominating Joe Goodall, who was previously an undefeated Aussie heavyweight. His victory has made fans rather excited for a showdown between him and Dempsey McKean, but as it turns out, McKean is ignoring his calls. In this video, we will be talking about a highly anticipated match between Huni and McKean. Let's get started. First up, Huni's complete annihilation of Goodall has proven that he isn't here to play. The third week of June brought an insane victory for Huni. He won every round at Nissan Arena and grabbed a unanimous victory in Brisbane against Goodall. Huni completely ripped apart whatever strategy his opponent might have had for the ring. The world was completely in awe of the heavyweight fighter, who certainly put up an interesting show for his fans. WBO Oriental, WBC Australasian, and IBF Pan-Pacific Huni is all part of them, and if they were to put all the heavyweights into a lineup, then he'd definitely be in the top 15 boxers for them all. Does this mean that he's capable of fighting for a world title? Absolutely, we 100% agree with Ben Damon. Huni is definitely destined for great things. But before his match against Goodall, the Matchroom Boxing's Eddie Hearn made an intriguing suggestion. He offered that his undefeated Aussie heavyweight fighter, Dempsey McKean, would fight whoever won the Huni versus Goodall match. McKean currently holds the rank of the top 10 heavyweight fighters for both WBO and IBF. He also has a record of 21-0. With 21 straight wins, it's hard for a champ such as McKean to ignore a call to fight by Huni. Will the 0 finally turn into 1 after a battle with Huni? We're not entirely sure yet, but one thing is certain, it'll be an epic showdown. But will we actually see a Huni versus McKean match soon? Although Hearn has given us a little bit of a teaser regarding the battle between the two heavyweights, we don't really know when we'll be lucky enough to see them go at it in a ring. When Huni was asked about the possibility of a future match between the two, his response wasn't something that we had hoped for. Rather than giving a positive response or trashing McKean as heavyweights often do before a fight, he simply said that McKean didn't seem interested. Yep, that's right. Huni thinks that McKean isn't willing to fight him. We don't know how much truth there is in this statement, or if Huni is just applying reverse psychology on McKean just to psych him up, but one thing is clear, Huni is ready for the challenge. When the matter was pressed further and he was asked if the 21-time winner was actually running scared, Huni just said that he wasn't into talking. Apparently he lets his actions do the talking, and well, seeing his previous performances, we completely agree with him. Refusing to trash talk his opponent is pretty admirable if you ask us, but it increases the mystery regarding the possible fight greatly. Even though Huni isn't really willing to participate in all the trash talk rituals, his promoter Dean Lonergan doesn't quite feel the same. After the heavyweight fighter's epic performance in Brisbane, Dean speculated that McKean would be less than willing to fight Huni. Huni did grab a unanimous win against Goodall by beating him in each round, so that sort of makes sense, but it also could be just sizzle. We don't know yet if there's a stake yet or not. In a pretty bold move, Lonergan said they will run like little because they will not fight Justis Huni after that performance. Lonergan said that also Hearn would never want to stick his big heavyweight in with Huni. Well, Lonergan might just be throwing biased statements around, so we can't really say if you should believe him or not. According to him, McKean would be an easy target for his heavyweight despite the former's superior rank. On behalf of Huni, Lonergan did all the trash talk, so we aren't exactly certain if it holds the same meaning, but some of his statements were pretty bold. He also said that McKean was only number 10 because he's used to fighting rubbish men who don't know how to fight. Big words, don't you think? Lonergan also mentioned that earlier he had reached out to McKean's promoter in hopes to set up a fight between the two, but the plan never materialized. We wonder what Huni thought of this little speech made by his promoter. Do you think it hyped him up more, or just annoyed him to the core? So if he isn't going to fight McKean, what next? With his plans to fight McKean being on hold, there are many fighters that Huni might go after now. Huni's trainer and father Rocky has been pretty interested in former WBA world champion Brown's resurgence. Apart from this, mentions of fight against Terzievsky and Lutel have also been made. Huni was actually supposed to fight Lutel in June, but the rescheduling of his Goodall match made him pull out of that. It seems that Huni has a pretty interesting series of matches planned for his career. There's one thing that we know for sure, Huni will not be picking easy battles. Rather, he'd be taking good fights that will help him further his career. Now for some other boxing-related news. Firstly, can Jai Opetaia really beat anyone in the world? Paul Gallen believes so. The former NRL legend, Paul Gallen, is now trying his luck at boxing, and according to him, Jai Opetaia is the fastest boxer he's come face-to-face with. This inspiration for Opetaia came not long before his fight with IBF cruiserweight king Maris Bridis for the next world title. As it turns out, Gallen had actually been helping Opetaia prep for his epic battle. The former actually flew in about 8 weeks before the fight to help the 27-year-old win his fight. Paul Gallen believed that Opetaia is ready to take hold of his moment and that he has prepared him to the fullest. It's really nice seeing a 348-game NRL warrior say such words about a younger boxer. He also mentioned that Opetaia and Huni had the same level of speed, so we can expect great things from Opetaia, don't you think? Gallen even sent Opetaia a motivational text and wished him good luck for his performance. Up next, Australia gets a new boxing world champ after an incredible cruiserweight title fight. For those of you wondering about the outcome of the previously mentioned match, well, here it is. Jai Opetaia, who was unbeaten in 21 matches, took the center stage on 2nd July to fight Maris Briedis for the world title. This unique battle for the world title had us gripping the edges of our seats, but Opetaia managed to gain victory through unanimous decision. He took a complete attacking approach, where he kept on hammering at his opponent, who was soon sent into a daze. But the victory didn't come easy for the 27-year-old. In fact, he ended up breaking his jaw in the second round, which is why he was unable to speak later on. Yikes. For his fight, Opetaia had revealed earlier that he'd be opting the style of Floyd Mayweather, who managed to completely unravel his opponents without getting hit. That's really the perfect technique to go after, don't you think? After an insane showdown, the Aussie became the first to become world champ since 2017 when Jeff Horn grabbed the title. The fight didn't just prove that Opetaia is a great fighter, but it also showed his resilience. Maybe Gallen is right. Maybe Opetaia is capable of defeating everyone in the world. Now, all hail King Artur, the latest unified WBO champ. Artur Beterbiev became the center of attention in the last weeks of June for all the right reasons. He's currently unbeaten in a whopping total of 18 consecutive professional fights and holds 3 different versions of the world light heavyweight titles. His brutal fight with Joe Smith Jr. was a treat for all his fans. The opponent dropped approximately 3 times before the referee decided that it was time to call it quits. For the spectators, it was clearly a one-sided fight, as Beterbiev was able to get Smith early on. The latter never really recovered from those blows. The audience saw Smith finding refuge in the ropes one too many times. With this complete victory, Artur Beterbiev has only to take down Dmitry Bivol. Bivol currently holds the WBA version of the light heavyweight title, and if Beterbiev is able to grab this, then he'll have a clean sweep of the division. Sounds like a difficult task, but good luck to him. Lastly, Gallen and Hodges face each other in a grudge match. The former NRL legend has finally agreed to face the ex-Queensland star Justin Hodges in the ring, but there are some things that must be cleared out first. Before the much-awaited fight, the two heavyweights are waiting to see who will be the winner in 2022's Origin Series. The winning state, as it turns out, will be hosting the showdown between the two. The two are excited to face each other in the ring once these details have been ironed out, but as stated by Hodges, they won't let this fight come between their relationship. According to him, the two will probably go for a beer right after the fight. Well, that's all for this video, folks. Do you think McKean will respond to the challenge? Who do you think will win the fight, Huni or McKean? Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for similar content. See you soon with brand new content.